Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Behind the Cape. I'm Jeff Sabo, your host. Nothing new in superhero movies coming out this weekend. However, July 7th, Spider-Man: Homecoming is going to hit theaters. Everything that I've heard, it's not going to be an origin story like we've seen in some of the other previous Spider-Man films, where the first one with Tobey Maguire, obviously you have that storyline where he's still in high school. You see Uncle Ben get shot, and then he has to learn with great power comes great responsibility. You also saw that in The Amazing Spider Man with Andrew Garfield and Mark Webb as the director. But in this one, they're doing away with the origin story. However, they are supposed to be focusing in on Peter Parker's life as a high school student. Tom Holland, who is going to be playing the web slinger in this one, he debuted as the character in Captain America Civil War. He's done a lot of research into the character, and at one point, he even mentioned in an interview, he even went to high school and even posed as a student in class just to be able to kind of get used to being able to understand better what it's like to be a high school student, understand the pressures that go into that. And everything that I've heard about this film is that it's supposed to be a pretty unique take on the character. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in it as Tony Stark. Jon Favreau, Happy Hogan is going to be in it. You have Michael Keaton playing the Vulture. So it really looks like that this is going to be a pretty good setup for some of the other films within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And as mentioned before, fresh take on it, no origin story, just more of a take on what it's going to be like as Peter Parker as a high school student, trying to balance not only school but also trying to learn to be a superhero as well. And for those of you who have not seen Wonder Woman, go and see it. It is worth the time. It has got to be one of the best superhero movies I've seen. It's one of those movies where you sit there at the end and go, "Oh my goodness, when's the sequel coming out? When's Justice League coming out?" So you definitely want to make sure that you check that one out. From what I understand, it is doing very well at the box office. It's been number one. It's been number one at the box office for at least a couple weeks in a row. And I think I even read somewhere that it's going to be it's one of the highest grossing films ever directed by a female director. Patty Jenkins did an incredible job with the direction on it. Gal Gadot did an incredible job playing the character. So if you have a chance to see that, go and check that out. Wonder Woman is definitely one of those films where you sit there at the end and go, "Oh my goodness, that was worth the time. That was worth seeing." And it's almost kind of like the first time you see Batman Begins, where you sit there and say the same things, where just with how it's a fresh take on the character, it's definitely a fresh approach within the DC cinematic universe. So definitely go and see it. And then moving along to TV shows, the CW did announce that they are going to have a show based off of the character Black Lightning debuting this fall. They started releasing some trailers for it, and the trailers look very, very intriguing. Whether or not it's going to be part of the Arrowverse, I'd have to double check on that. But from what I understand, But from what the trailers are showing, it looks like it really is going to have an interesting and incredible storyline. So make sure you check that out. I'm Jeff Sabo. Thanks for watching Behind the Cape, and we'll see you at the comic book store and see you at the movies.